how to avoid 3 real estate ripoffs. Hey there, I'm Nicole, and that is what we are talking about in today's video. There are 3 real estate ripoffs that you need to be really careful about when you are buying or selling real estate. The first ripoff that you need to be very, very careful about is wire transfer fraud. This is something that has happened. I've seen it firsthand. It is not fun. You do not want to lose money and you do not want to involve the FBI. So real estate transactions are often a huge target of this because of the large sums of money that are being transferred via wire transfer. When you are getting ready to close on your home and you're buying a $2 million property in cash, guess what? You're transferring over $1 million worth of money into an escrow account, and you want to make sure that it is in fact going to the correct escrow account and that it's not going into a scammer's hands where you lose all your money. You also need to be really aware of this when you are transferring any type of money. So if you are doing earnest money and you are doing a wire transfer, you always want to verify that you are in fact transferring it to the correct account and that you have all the correct information, or else you could wind up losing a ton of money, and there is no guarantee that you will ever get back. The last thing I would ever want any of my clients is for them to have somebody come in, hack into our emails, and change where the wire instructions are going, and you wire your money to some criminal. That would be absolutely heartbreaking. You wouldn't be able to do anything about it. You'd have to go to the FBI to get the money back. So the FBI has reported that real estate fraud has greatly increased. And I see a lot of scammers out there trying to text message you, hey, you owe money here, click this link. Hey, to pay off this bill, click here. Never click those links. If you get something in your email that looks suspicious, that is not your escrow officer, that is not the title company, that is not from your agent, always make sure that you are verifying with your agent where you're sending the money. I truly believe that the best way to make sure that a wire transfer gets to where it needs to go, well, you're going to have to carve out a bit of time out in your day to do this. Go to the bank where you bank at and have somebody at the bank help you wire a big lump sum of money to somebody else. Oftentimes, if you do this through your phone or through an app or through Charles Schwab or through your computer, you want to make sure that you're sending it to the right place. And oftentimes it can take longer for your wire transfer to arrive if you do it through your phone or your computer. Whereas if you go into the bank directly, it will get there the same day. Sometimes banks have different cutoff times for wire transfers. So always make sure that you are not throwing yourself into default and that you are making sure that you are getting the money that you are wiring to the appropriate person, whether that be the buyer's brokerage, if you're doing earnest money, or the closing company when you're getting ready to close on a property. Always make sure you're never going into default by doing it on the computer and then realizing, oh no, it needed to be there yesterday and now my wire transfer is going to take 2 days. That could be a problem. Here's what you need to do if you are a buyer or seller ever doing a wire transfer in a real estate transaction. 1, you never want to send wire instructions that are sent through email. 2, you never want to send personal information out. So you never want your social security number in there, bank account numbers, credit card numbers, unless this is passed through a secure encrypted file, which many title companies have. So you want to make sure, because there are a lot of fraudsters out there that will pretend to be a title company and say, hey, your closing's taking place, here's the link. And you're like, who's this title company? This isn't who I'm working with. And that is a big red flag. Never click on the link, never open it up, because many times they'll hack into your system. Also, never click any of these attachments because they will likely install malware on your computer, and that's how hackers get into your computer, and then they're going to change where the emails are sent, and it's going to cause a huge problem. Always independently confirm the wire transfer instructions by speaking with the person who sent you the wire transfer instructions. I send you wire transfer instructions. You need to call me on the phone to verify that these this is in fact the correct account number. Always use strong passwords and use a strong protected Wi-Fi. Real estate ripoff number 2 is something that is actually less known, and it's called deed fraud. So it's a crime that's also known as property theft. The targets happen to be elderly people, vacation homeowners, and people that don't have mortgages on their home, that the home is completely paid off in cash, as well as abandoned homes or unoccupied homes. And what can really happen is sometimes this scammer will actually go and live in the home, or they will turn around and sell it to somebody else. So you might be the owner of the home. They went in, they changed the deed, they sold the house, and you have no idea about it. So here are 3 warning signs you might potentially be having somebody trying to perform deed fraud on you. So you get a notice for an unpaid water bill, you get a notice for unpaid tax bill, or you get a notice for an unpaid mortgage bill, especially when you don't even have a mortgage on the home. So what happens is they'll go out, they'll steal the deed, they'll sign the signature, they'll sell the house, then they'll take a mortgage out on it, take the money and run, and you're left with a mortgage on your home that was paid off. Or maybe you don't receive a water bill or a tax bill that you should have received. Or maybe you get a notice of foreclosure and you're going, what? I don't even have a mortgage on my home. I've paid my mortgage. What's going on? And if you see like signs of life in this home and it's an unoccupied home, it's a vacation home, it's a second home, and now all of a sudden somebody's living in there, what's going on? So how can you protect yourself? You can monitor your credit score. You can check the status of your deed often and regularly by going to the county assessor's office, and you can look up your deed online to make sure no funny business is taking place, to make sure that you are still the name on the deed. You can consider buying a title protection service if you want, where they monitor your title for you. Real estate ripoff number 3. We will buy your home for cash. You've likely seen this on the TV all the time. Maybe it's an infomercial, maybe it's a postcard in the mail, maybe it's a mass text message sent out to you. You have no idea who this person even is. They're introducing themselves, will buy your home for cash. Get rich quick schemes, lots of infomercials in the 90s, how to become a real estate millionaire. Fix and flippers often do this. Going to a real estate investing seminar. Is this type of individual is looking for somebody who is in bad shape, meaning the house is a total tear down, seller's in a circumstance financially where they're underwater, and they basically they're looking for properties that need a lot of TLC. These individuals are also typically not licensed real estate agents. So that is also something to note. Sometimes they are. There are some people that get their license just so that they can do these types of deals. I'm going to tell you why I'm not a fan of this and why it is a scam. And it can be fraudulent. It can be very unethical. So usually these types of people do not have a license, and it's considered something that is called wholesaling in real estate. It's this big investor thing. So these wholesale dealers are actually using you. It's kind of screwing you over as a seller because they're basically saying, we will buy your home for cash. And typically they don't actually have the cash. They are in fact using a loan, and they are going to a hard money lender. So if somebody offers to buy your home in cash, you need to say, please show me your bank account and your proof of funds. If you're trying to sell your house to this person for $500,000, they better have $500,000 in their account to purchase it. If they cannot provide this for you, it's a scam. They're going to go get a loan. They're going to go to a hard money lender to get quick cash. That's how these wholesale deals work. They very rarely ever use their own money. They're leveraging somebody else's money and saying, hey, it's cash deal because I'm not going through a regular financial institution. I'm going through a private loan lender who will give me quick cash. But no, you don't have the money in your account, so it's not cash. That's fraud. And so basically they're roping you into this contract. And remember, they're not a licensed real estate professional. And what they're doing is they are trying to find a buyer for your home. They're not the actual ones purchasing your home. That's right. You get roped into a contract with this individual and they are trying to find a buyer for your home. So what happens is they build an email list of investors they have who are usually fix and flippers, who like to buy real estate at a low price, fix it up, and then sell it for a high price. So what this wholesale real estate deal involves is this person you have gone under contract with is actually going to assign the contract to another buyer. And where they are profiting is off of that sale from what you said you were going to sell your house for to what they actually sell the house for the buyer. So it's kind of like an auction, and they'll increase the price. So say they agree to $500,000. Now they send out your home to their email list, and now the price has become $550,000. So they're going to make $50,000 off the sale of your home. That is really screwing you over. You get locked into a contract with these people, and they're not even the ones buying your house. They're assigning it. So they're profiting off the sale of your home by auctioning it to a new buyer who will actually tear down your house and rebuild it and sell it. It's usually an off-market deal. These deals are not usually found on the MLS because these types of people don't want to deal with real estate agents. However, there are a lot of these underground kind of investor type wholesale deal companies, and you definitely need to be aware because they exist and they're around Utah. And I've actually had a deal where this happened, just did not go well. We got it done. It was borderline unethical. They were actually real estate agents and they pretended they weren't real estate agents. And they would tell my seller that they were coming over to do their inspection when they were actually bringing buyers through the house. My seller noticed something that was, it wasn't right. Something was going on. This is an inspector. They're bringing buyers through my house. Like, what the hell's going on, right? Every time they were confronted, they basically lied about everything. So, really, they could have been reported to the division. The deal ended up going through. They ended up selling the home to a different buyer. So it really screwed that buyer because they profited off sale of the assignment. And normally, real estate transactions are not assignable. In this particular case, they stuck something in one of the addendum. They were doing wholesale deals and they were real estate agents, and they weren't even coming clean with the fact that they were real estate agents. So be careful of the "we will buy your home for cash." And if it's an off-market deal, there's obviously a reason why it's off-market, and sometimes things can go really sideways. If you like more of what you see, please check out more of my videos.